This building is a church, San Martin de Porres. At first glance, it may seem unimposing for a church. The section on the left used to be a garage, and the larger section was a movie theater. But once you're inside, the atmosphere is definitely that of a house of God. And it's obvious that this is a vibrant and vigorous one. It was built by Latino farm workers with their own hands and money. For 30 years it has been the Catholic heart of Dayton in the fertile Willamette Valley. Technically, San Martin isn't a church, but a mission, one step below an official church. That's because it doesn't have its own priest, but uses those from other churches. But for all practical purposes otherwise, it functions as a full church. But now its very survival is threatened. Until recently, San Martin was owned by the Portland Archdiocese. But the Archdiocese has divested itself of most of its properties for legal reasons. Last September, the Archdiocese turned ownership of San Martin over to St. James Catholic Church, 8 miles away in McMinnville. The pastor of St. James has announced that he intends to close San Martin, sell off the property, and use the proceeds for St. James's expansion plans. The parishioners of San Martin have vowed to fight the closing. These two women have helped organize the effort to save San Martin.
San Martin has been thriving, and especially in the last few years, and we don't understand why that should change. That should change. We believe that when something is working, we should come together and discuss how we can make things better. I would like people to know that San Martin, even though it's considered a mission, is a very active parish with a lot of activities, mainly daily activities, including what Denise mentioned, Mass, Bible study, lots of holiday celebrations. Religious holidays are always celebrated at San Martin, and even using the hall for families getting together and coming together and celebrating their own individual festivities. So there are, San Martin is a very, very active mission that, in our opinion, should have been considered a full-fledged parish. There are a lot of communities that are losing parishioners in their churches, and that's an unfortunate situation. That's not the case at San Martin. San Martin has children of all ages coming through, celebrating Mass and joining in activities and participating in everything that San Martin has to offer. And that is something that we feel proud of, because that is something that is a bit of an anomaly at this point in the Catholic Church. We've recently learned that St. James, oh gosh, I'm sorry.
I know.
The thought that their vital and healthy church could be sold is devastating to them.
Because
A lot of feelings are coming up because
it feels like they used whatever opportunity they could have in their plans to take advantage of the situation. And St. James became owner of San Martin just recently, and we believe that the pastor is the guardian of the churches, not the owner. And that's part of our concern, is that in being the guardian, you don't have the right to close a mission. You don't have the right to sell a property. We're not a McDonald's, we're not a Starbucks, we're not a company, we're a mission with people. people who believe in their pastor, who believe in their archbishop, and who believe that they will always be looking for the what will benefit the community, and knowing that they have the ability to sell the place of worship is very sad. We're trying to communicate and keep communication open with the Archdiocese of Portland so that they can see through our eyes how valuable San Martin really is to the Dayton community, and what harm closing San Martin would cause the Dayton community. We're trying to establish the communication that we didn't have prior to this announcement, because this announcement to close San Martin came so suddenly that we didn't have an opportunity to really sit down and come up with solutions. We weren't aware that our church would be closing, and so that was one of our concerns, is to be able to keep communication open, to present to the Archdiocese of Portland our solutions, because we do have various solutions to keeping San Martin open. Closing San Martin, in our opinion, is not an option. We don't believe that that's the only way, that whatever problems the Archdiocese may be having is a way to resolve it.
It's just overwhelming sometimes, the phone calls that I receive or the emails that I get of people just, asking what they can do. If they can write letters, who do they write to?
We believe as a congregation that we are financially viable, that we are able to become independent and support ourselves. With such a large community, we know that the building and the facilities are nothing that's luxurious. It's some place where you can go and celebrate Mass or religious holidays and feel like you're really experiencing humility through the people who founded that. But we still have, in our opinion, financially stable future, and we have donors and people who are willing to help.
The women see their efforts now as reflecting those of the church's original builders.
In this moment, in this time, similar to what happened more than 30 years ago, we're coming together, devoting our time for that one same goal, to keep the church going, to establish a place where we can pray, to establish a place where we can worship, to establish and save a place where we can experience faith in our own unique way, in a very special way. And there are a few times in our lives where we have the opportunity to do that, and we don't take that for granted. And we know that this is hard work, but we know that this is a worthy cause. We know that it's worth it to spend that time, that effort, that energy in doing something that will be remembered for a long time. The people who established the church may have been forgotten for a few years because we take those things for granted. Now that we're doing this, that we're trying to save the church, we're remembering them in a certain way. We're honoring them by trying to protect something that took so much hard work, so much sacrifice on their part to give to us. We feel like they gave and passed on the keys to this precious place, and we feel like we're protecting those keys and keeping them where they should be, in the hands of the parishioners of San Martin.
We need help from everyone. Spread the word. Contact the media. Talk to your church. Check the website for suggestions. That's www.savesanmartin.com.
I want to go somewhere. I don't want to be another statistic. I don't want to be out there on the street. I want to be in school, getting an education.
I decided to start an I Have a Dream program basically because I was able to see a number of my peers and my friends who weren't able to go on and go into college and have a college experience.
Education is really the key to the creation of a just and compassionate society. But with that, I believe that every child has a right, a mandate to a complete educational opportunity.
I have a dream. I have a dream. I am a dreamer.
I believe in myself and in my dreams.
I believe in myself and in my dreams.
I think the elements of a successful program is, number one, and I think that I Have a Dream has it, is to start with the end in mind.
There's not a lot of organizations out there or foundations who say we are committed to you throughout your entire life until you get to college and beyond.
They supplied me with tutors, mentors, and were really there to guide me every step of the way.
I wasn't a great student when I was younger, and they never gave up on me.
I have such a good supporting cast of friends that are around me to this day that are all dreamers, that we all communicate, we look out for each other.
Working here gives me the opportunity to see that there is a chance for everyone, no matter where you come from.
If I were a dreamer, it'd be harder to go to college because my mom would have to think of ways to pay for me to go to college, and I would have to probably end up working. It would just be really hard and confusing.
It's not just the ability to send children to school or give them tuition or scholarship dollars, but actually preparing them and sort of become a part of their lives to let them utilize those scholarship dollars.
So it's important that you dream big, right? If you don't dream big, you can't get big. My daddy always tells me, if you want to hit the treetops, aim for the skies. So you always got to do a little extra to make a little room for the turns in the road that you can't really predict.
When I was younger, I really thought the world consisted of Manhattan only. And I Have a Dream opened up doors to other places. The first time I left and saw real grass and trees, I was in Vermont with the I Have a Dream. They have really exposed me to different walks of life that I probably would have never gone to see myself.
You travel around the world and just look at colleges.
It's fun to visit colleges because not many 8th graders get to do that. I just like getting to see what my future looks like.
I know that with a college education, they can achieve any dream. They can break through any glass ceiling.
My dream is to be a graphic designer.
I want to be a veterinarian or work with animals.
I plan on studying medicine in college.
To be able to help people, to be a doctor and to help people.
Now it's like I want to be either a writer or a poet.
I want to be an engineer or a lawyer.
I want to be a nephrologist.
I want to do something in therapy to help people.
The key to this is not just that our kids go through college, but it's the fact that that has been put in their mind, and their expectation is now that their children have to go to college. As they have stood on my shoulders so that they can achieve greatness, they're going to allow their children to stand on their shoulders. And now we're changing the future.
I'm going to make something out of myself.
Being a dreamer builds up this good self-image of me. It makes me feel like proud that I am because I can actually walk down the street and be like, hey, I'm a dreamer.
I think many of you know that I love Hammond Hill. It has a special place in my heart because the students here are the smartest and kindest around. The teachers are the very best, and the parents and community are so supportive. You're not just great here at North Augusta and not just great in Aiken County and South Carolina. We think you're great across the United States. And help me make a very special announcement. Let's do a drum roll. Hammond Hill has been named 2012 Blue Ribbon School across America. Congratulations! When you go outside to recess, you will see that our playground is covered with inflatables.